Hello, everyone. This is Stacy. Welcome to the landing. Welcome back to the landing and to part 2 of this special 2-part conversation, one of the gifts we're sharing with you this season. We are grateful you've joined us again as we continue our time with Travis Davis and Wayne Davis. Today we pick up the story of the Harkers Island Electric Membership Corporation and spend a little more time celebrating the vision, hard work, and leadership that shaped its legacy. Travis and Wayne share reflections, memories, and insights that shine a light on the people who made the EMC more than just an organization. They made it a cornerstone of life on the island. So, join me now as we continue this meaningful conversation with Travis and Wayne.
I remember one time I had a pretty good idea, and I'll tell you what it was. At one time, the reason I had a good idea was because reading meters was the hardest thing that I had to do. It was to take a hot day trying to read that meter at everybody's house, all over the island. You had to go to every one of them and read them. Mm-hmm. And I had a moped, and I talked them into getting us some mopeds, and we read the meters on the moped. And you don't know how many people that worked at other power companies and stuff, we talk about it. So that's a good idea. We got to try to get our company to do that, because you can read them twice as quick or more,
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one day, this was something different. There was a Canadian goose out there, the old camel that was a setting. And you got to watch out if you get close to a nest of big geese. And I knew where the goose was, and I was going behind this house, so I kind of keep an eye out at the corner of my eye. And I heard one honk, and I looked up, and it was one diving right down on me. And if I hadn't turned around, he hit me back the head, but he hit my shoulder and knocked me off the moped. But you had to be careful even on a moped. But we read them a lot quicker.
Yes.
And it was nobody didn't get hurt or anything.
No.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
That was cool.
And just the electric meters now, you had to read that. That could be in 1,000 electric meters. Well, then they had to go back and read water meters. Yeah. And people say, well, why can't you read above the same time? Well, it's not, because the water meter is not where the electric meter is. It could be way over here.
Yeah, on the road.
On the road.
Right.
So,
and you couldn't read him very good on a moped. No way.
No.
Get on your knees.
You had to do where the moped, you could go up to the house or whatever.
Now, something really funny about that, we would have people say, you haven't read that water meter? Ain't no way you read the water meter. So I had some phone calls. I ain't going to tell you who they are. Anyway, we had some people put a piece of cheese on it. Remember that? We had one customer put a piece of cheese on that water meter.
I didn't read that one. That must have been Reese.
Must be Reese. Anyway, I told him, I said, okay. I said, I'll be there in a few minutes and I'll read that water meter personally myself. So I did. Guess what? That reading that staff member had wrote down was just like the one that I read.
There you go.
So that proved the point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll tell you about something too. One time that happened, but I'm not going to call no names except the one that it happened to. One morning we were reading meters, and Reese was reading a meter behind his house, and all of a sudden the door opened up, and this lady throwed a bowl of milk out of a cereal out the window, and it went right on Reese. And she slammed her door real quick. She didn't see him, and he was standing there. He was telling us about. He's standing there with that milk running all over. And it sounded like something Reese was big mad or what. Can't tie the house up.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say who did it.
But she didn't know he was there.
No, she
just
didn't
threw it
know
out
he
the
was
window.
out. She just threw it out, and now he stood up with that milk all over. We had some funny things happen too.
Oh, man.
But that one time I thought Reese probably would have got madder than he did.
He was probably too shocked.
Yeah, he came to the office and told us about it.
And in the beginning too, there's only one feeder line coming down east. The feed, and it came out of East Carter High School back in that wood, right, Wayne?
Over on the other side.
One somewhere. Anyway, we only had one feeder line, so the whole down east could go out. But then later on, through the North Carolina Electric Membership Corporation, through their help, they ended up with CP&L. We had another line that fit our metering point. So it could be a possibility Harkers Island would be on and Otway be off. So that was an improvement in itself.
That's big.
That was an
Yeah.
improvement.
We had hurricanes. We mostly always had our stuff ready before,
Oh, yeah.
before the main lines come on.
Yeah.
I remember y'all saying you were waiting for the main
Yes.
line.
Yeah.
We was waiting for, we couldn't get up until they energized. But through staff and NCMC, we worked together. I would call and say, okay, the power's still off. What's going on? They would give us feedback. What's going on? And which I lived in Newport, and I drove from Newport to Harkers every day. Wayne would call me in the morning time, like, power's off. So I would get up and come. But I enjoyed.
We've had some good times. I remember one time before you went there, me and James and Nanny Ray come out in the back, and we was getting ready to go somewhere, and she come out there, and then to the porch had 2 posts, and we took tighter to one of the posts and left. And she stayed out there along the finally. Wow, Maxwell went to see where she was. She was out there tied to that post. And another time on Christmas, we were getting ready to go home for Christmas, and I took and picked her up. I was like,
She was so little.
and she broke her rib.
Yeah.
So I went and bought her upon a 5th of whiskey. I said, everything I know to get you.
Well, do you remember the
But
pig?
we had some good times.
Do you remember the pig we had?
I'm not going to call no names on that one. That's your family.
That's all right.
What,
Yeah,
a
but
pig?
we got her
A
to do it.
pig. We had a pig. And she was crawling around on the floor.
Yeah. Her name starts with a C.
Starts with a C.
And I told her to get down
Oh.
on her hands and knees and take a picture. I got a picture of her on her hands and knees acting like a pig.
They would do crazy things at Christmas time because we were drawing names. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Somebody went to the banks and got something and brought it back and put it in a box.
That wasn't me.
It weren't me.
I wasn't there that day.
I'm sure
But
I
it's getting Christmas time, but a lot of people don't realize too, that's something that we used to do. I mean, we enjoyed doing it. We used to decorate the water tower. We put lights up on top of the water tower coming down, and we did that for 3 or 4 years. And we put lights going to the bridge before
Yes.
across the road
We
over
did.
there. But they don't do that no more. But
No.
we used to do things like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love going to the water plant with you when I was little. I thought that was the coolest
Oh,
thing
yeah. I mean,
to go because it was giant. I would stand under it and just look up.
Oh yeah, I took a horse there one time, but he didn't like it.
the horse did.
I'm like, no, that siren go off.
I put
Yeah.
him in that fence there and closed
Yeah.
that gate and had that fire ring go off and hear it all over the island.
Yes.
And when that go off, that horse, buddy, he covers on ground in that food.
Yeah.
I bet so. Oh my goodness.
Scared him to death. I had to carry him back to Banks.
I mean,
Carried back the bags.
I just thought about it. Somebody you had mentioned that worked there too was Stacy. Didn't he work there with you?
Oh, Stacy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Stacy. Right there.
Yeah.
Is he the one? He did something about.
He could do anything I tell him he couldn't do, he'd do it. Just to prove he could do it.
What was he ate about oysters or clams or something? He did. Something.
Oh, he was going to eat. This is disgusting. I'm going to tell it anyway. Somebody told him he would eat a raw egg.
Ew.
So he took 2 raw eggs, I think it was, and put them in a cup, broke them, put them in a cup, and started swallowing it. And got them about halfway down the river, it all come back out. Now you talk about a mess.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
But he would try anything you told him he couldn't do, he'd try to do it. He'd do
Oh
it.
my word.
But he was fine. He was just as good as gold.
Well, think about the names of the people that you have said you worked with, women and men. I mean, they're like the best of the best. You
Yes.
know? So good.
I remember Wayne mentioned Nanny Ray. I know when I came to the co-op, later on we went to computers all right, and she said, "You're going to kill me." And it's hard. It is really hard for somebody that's never had that knowledge on computers, and you throw me in there and say all this here. I mean, I have trouble now trying to,
Oh yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
And you had Meredith.
Yes.
Meredith came there and worked, and she's when she sees me now, still talks about how much she misses.
Yes.
We had a bunch
Yeah.
of different
Yeah.
ones.
Yes.
Yep, had a lot of folks, a lot of good
And
folks.
Vicky, and we had Vicky.
Yes, Vicky.
Now,
Wanda.
And Wanda. When the consolidation happened, myself, Vicky, Meredith, Kathy, we all went. I stayed the first 4 years I was there. Like the 3 years was part time. First year was full time. I think they was picking my brain because they didn't have the water system. But that was one thing that to consolidate they had to do. Hardy Craven had to take the water system.
Right, right.
And we had a good time too when we have our annual meetings.
Oh yeah, we
The
did.
cattle on the island, they'd all get together.
We had a good time at annual meetings,
Oh yeah.
But one time when we said the annual meeting, I was doing something anyway. Somebody says, "Do you know the restoration line is out of the school down the road?" I said, "No." So the members had control. They had control.
Wow.
But we had to take some things we had to put up with.
Oh, well, sure. When anytime you work with the public, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Before we end up closing, what was one of the hardest situations that you all find yourself in that you had to work through? Would that be storms, or what do you think?
Probably storms, yeah.
Storms.
Because it's so much out of your control.
Yeah, try to find and fix everything before you can get it back on.
I remember when storms would come, we would leave, and Daddy wouldn't leave the island.
No, he stayed.
Yeah.
He was stayed. They were dedicated. Those employees were dedicated because when them working in the channel, I sat there looking at them. I was so concerned about their safety, very concerned about it.
I'll tell you one of the funniest things that happened one time. This lady called us and said the power was out. And we went there and asked her, the water was broke. And she said, I asked her, how did the water get broke? She said it was a loon leak on it.
A
If
loan?
anybody knows anything about a loon don't like on no wire. A loon hit it. Her son had shot the loon and killed it. And it fell and broke the wire. But she tried to prove that. She said, the loon lit on it. I said, no, the loon did not light on it. But we run across things like that at times too. And one other time, it was this wasn't a power company, but it was a power company. I know two friends of mine one morning, and one of them was a real good shot, and the other one wasn't that great. But anyway, a loon flew over, and they shot the loon, and it fell and hit the wire and broke the wire. And the boy that wasn't that great, Hunter, he said, I got him. And when he hit that wire and broke it, the other fellow said, you got him, you got him. So but we have some crazy things happen.
Yeah. But like the minutes of the cooperative, they're at Hardy Craven.
They are.
Those minutes are at the co-op because you can go back and do like genealogy research, and you can see that Earl Davis was very involved in the cooperative, Maxwell Willis, James Moore, all those pioneers, Nanny Ray, they were very involved in that. It's so interesting to read those minutes.
Which one you're not named?
Hunter.
Old man Bull Hunter.
Bull Hunter.
He's one of the ones that started it.
Yes, he started, and he is buried in the cemetery up here. What's the name of it?
Virgin May.
Virgin May. He's buried in there.
Now, Bull Hunter, he's the man that was so tall, so big.
He was a big man, but he if I'm pretty sure he started the first fish houses ever on the island.
Okay.
And I think he also had another place there. They had a restaurant. He had a restaurant one time. Of course, Paula Evelyn Davis worked for him. And different things that he did, but he was real good about the business and stuff like that too. And he was one of the ones that helped get the REA.
Now, where was he from? He wasn't from here.
Her daughter wrote a good thing about him one time. She was up around New York or somewhere.
Up around New York.
Okay.
Old man Bull Hunter.
And my grandfather, Joe Davis, was an employee of your father, Wayne Davis. In the boat, he would go.
Oh, Joe.
Joe would take.
Oh yeah, Joe.
Take the fish.
I thought the world, Joe. He ran the buy boat for Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How about
Oh,
that?
Joe. He was a good fellow, Joe was.
Oh, that's
And you still got the history of the first 50 years of Harkers Island Co-op, right? You still got that book?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Where did I get it?
You still got it.
The only history I got is the 39 years I worked there.
He's got.
I got the history.
It's one in this museum at top. It's a display of it, and it's got a picture of Maxwell and some other people in there about the co-op and all that. It was very good. The school was very involved helping us, to get that set up. The people would come down and work on that. And
that was your department, man. I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Well, we were involved into it. So it was. We
involved too
we
much.
wanted that history. They did a lot of information helped us. Yeah. I was asking, one of the hardest things I would say was when the power went off during the storms. That was the hardest thing because my concern was the
It was
staff.
pretty hard too if somebody hit a fire hydrant. We didn't have no equipment to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be rough.
But one time, do you remember that auger truck we had, and we went to Wilson to get that thing fixed? It was a cold
Oh, yeah.
day. It was a cold day, and then we come back. I followed you, and you coming back. You know, so it was
I remember the first water hydrant got knocked down right there by the school. We had just got the water plant. We didn't have no equipment or nothing to fix nothing with. And we dig down there to it, got the water cut off, and it was broke. And we didn't have no plugs or fix nothing. The whole island was out.
Wow.
And I happened to think about a container that was in the warehouse. It was a box, and it was a brand new can that had never been used. It was still in the box. It was the same size around as that was. I'm not going to tell you what that can was for. Some people might not understand it, but it was not used. It was never been used. So I told her, I said, wait a minute. I went over and got that can, and we put that can, they butted it to the end of that water line and clamped it off and put a dead man stake behind it and got the water back on. With that can, we got out of there.
Yeah.
We didn't have much to work with, really. You know,
But you're a good man for the job because you can always
We
come
had
up with
set up
something.
that night.
Think outside the box for sure.
Wayne and the other staff we had in the back, they built that back room on the back of the cooperative.
Yeah.
They built that.
Oh, I bet so. With the names that you said, I can see Reese and all them doing their part to construct that.
But anyway, it was a good old time.
I remember the big snowstorm that we had. You walking to work because I remember watching you walk through the yard, and then when you got in the ditch because you were going.
I'm not going to tell the story about the Santa Claus.
Oh, that was traumatic event in your daughter's
I
life.
might get locked up with that, but that was Santa Claus. So
I'll tell it.
But that was some HIEMC employee.
Yeah, that was Santa Claus used to come around on the fire truck.
Right.
And came down Bayview Drive, and I was on the front porch waiting, and
excited.
excited.
Other two girls too.
Was Tanya Dwayne there too?
Yeah, I think so.
And we were waiting. We were so excited. And Santa Claus was
Keith Jr.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
He was
he
Santa Claus.
did a part perfect. He was good.
And Daddy came out of the house with a shotgun. Keith Jr., they had stopped because 3 little girls were there waiting. He had stopped and was coming to give us some candy. Daddy came out with a shotgun and ran him back to the fire.
You better get off my property. He came Jr. took off and ran. He got all the party.
I didn't ever give us their candy. We were traumatized.
They were mad with me. I don't understand it.
They didn't get their candy.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody come in my property that I was dressed up in a uniform like that, with a costume. You never know who they are.
Yeah.
But that she didn't. That wasn't true. I made that up and told her that, but she was little.
That is
those 31 years was a blessing to me, and those employees were a blessing to me. And we worked together. That word manager didn't mean anything to me. It did not mean anything to me. I just wanted to be able to work with these guys and the girls and do things for the community. It's where I was born, you know, and Harkers Island still means a lot to me.
Now, your sister worked there.
Yes, she was. She was the custodian. Yeah, she was a
Mm-hmm.
custodian, and she's the pig.
There we go. I was trying to get him to say it, Callie.
She was the pig.
Callie Ruth.
She was. Yeah.
She'd do anything I asked her to do, but
She would. Yeah.
told her to do it.
Right. And then I had a brother, Kenneth Gray Davis. He died at 54. He had cancer. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh, so young.
Did you mention Kyrita?
Yeah, Kyrita worked there for a while. She did the accounting and the bookkeeping, and she left. And Maxwell, he retired, and Wanda was there. Also married to his mother, Miss Nancy D. She worked there for a while.
That's her aunt. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Kathy.
And Kathy.
And there's the other girl.
Who was the other girl? She was from
She was that person from Red Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of her name.
No, I can't remember her name.
But she went to work over Morehead, didn't she?
No, she worked in I think on the water side part time. You know.
She had a neat name. I can't think of her.
But we had to do valuations. I had to evaluate the employees, and then I had to call them in.
Yeah, none of us ever got very good on that. Our manager wasn't worth a crap.
I had to do strong points. I always gave them some good strong points. Then I gave them some weakness too. And always when they drove the truck, I said, do not put anything on the dashboard.
Oh.
Do not put anything on the dashboard, because they would come and do our inspection, and the first thing they do, they write us up because there's things on the dashboard. They call them flying missiles. Flying missiles.
There's always stuff on the dashboard. I can vouch for that.
What good is a board or dashboard if you can't use it?
And nobody, of course, I loved them all, but I loved Reese. And
Yes.
he loved me.
Yeah.
And I remember one day when he came there to the house and he said, Stace, do you want to get in this bucket? And so I can tell you this now because it don't matter, but I got in the bucket and they lifted me up, and I thought that was something.
Yeah. It was when we lost Reese, that was a hard thing because I never thought that, because he was
a giant.
He was giant. Did you jog with us that time I went to Ocamuk?
No.
No.
Tell everybody that was something you told me before.
I remember you doing it, but I didn't do it.
That was when I was
because
skinny.
you was too slow for me.
I told him I couldn't imagine you doing that. So tell him, Travis, what you did.
They made it down and back.
We started. We started from Ocamuk.
You were running.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Yeah, and I'm running down all the way to Ocamuk, come back, went up by the Methodist Church, and then turned around and went back. You Christ said, no, you can't do that, Travis. You can't do that. But that's when I would get up in the morning, and I would jog before I even came to work.
Oh, wow.
And that's what's messed my back up and all that stuff, arthritis. But then I was more skinnier. I was wearing like size 34 pair of pants. Now I'm about a 44.
Well, at least you're still wearing pants. That's a good thing.
Oh, great day.
But some of the boys did it with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they ended up, they couldn't finish. They couldn't finish. They couldn't. And one time we had a storm, Ocamuk. I don't know if you remember this. I went out and helped them. And some kind of way, the line, I was trying to hoist the line or something. Anyway, before I knew it, I was going up in the air. But I wanted to be where they're at. Yeah. But we had a good time.
Yeah.
That was a blessing. It really was.
Yep. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Was there anything that y'all would like to say before we close?
Well, I tell you, when I was before Travis went there, I worked with James, and me and James got along real good together. Yeah. And I remember one day it was funny. He was going to help us. Most of the time he didn't help, but Butch Craver was working with us at that time.
Yes, I love Mr. Butch.
And we was working on the line, and James said, "I'll go down and hook it up to the house," which he didn't ever probably do stuff like that. But I was hooking it to the pole, and Butch was waiting on us. And he there got it hooked up, and the prior everything come down. He had run the water through the ladder, had to go back to the steps of the ladder. I'll tell you about that. We made fun of him one time. And another day, we was out doing something. Every 4 or 5 of us was working, and he was standing there over there watching us. And directly we saw him jumping up and down. I said, "What in the world matter with him?" Directly he took his pants off. He was standing in with a bunch of far ants. His pants off, started running down the road. We had some fun with him.
Yeah, far ants were bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but that movie. But we always had a good time.
And Christmas time was, was great. We had like 3 days off. We didn't get no bonus, so we would get, the board gave us like 3 days off, and they were good days. So.
Oh yeah, I remember y'all having Christmas parties. I just remember y'all getting ready and going. And
now they picked a trip. The first Christmas party we had it in Moorhead at Rex Restaurant. They pulled a joke on me. They said the power was off at Harkers Island, or a line had been broke. Were you involved in that situation?
No, I've been never involved in nothing bad.
You played the fifth?
And what was wrong? A water broke.
Yeah, and the power was off.
And it wasn't.
No. And it wasn't. They're pulling things like that on me.
All the time.
All the time. All the time.
Did what's his name? Can't think of his name now.
Was it one of our employees?
No, we went to work there. Some of the board did. There's some of the board to go with us to some of them our meetings, parties we go to.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, they
Then,
did.
didn't Ike go and his wife and
Yeah.
worked here to the school?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember every time we go home, she come home.
Miss Hester.
Huh?
Hester?
Hester.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she come home, she'd open her pocketbook or whatever, and it would be one of the towels that was to the cafe.
napkins.
And I would slip it in her
When the cloth napkins?
yeah, the cloth ones. And she told me that I done it 3 or 4 times. Every time we go, I
Yeah.
make sure. She said, "How did you get that in her?" She said, "I'm gonna be locked up." She kept stealing them things.
Yeah.
What we gonna do about it?
But I'm going to tell
That's
you,
so funny. Of course, she died. She was
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. She wouldn't have took it for nothing in the world.
now a piece of steak that he loves, Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
is filet.
Filet.
You know.
Oh, yes.
And every time I eat a piece like that, I think of you.
I eat it now, but I don't eat it much.
And
I don't like steak like I used to.
But I bet you like that country ham.
I love country
Oh,
ham.
You
yes.
cut it off, you know, and fry it.
And somebody used to bring y'all one at Christmas, didn't they? Seems
We
like
had-
you would bring them a country ham from somebody.
Yeah,
we had- we had-
they would get, the office. Would
Yes,
get
we
one.
could get
Mm-hmm.
we could
We
give
could
a
get a
ham or a turkey.
or
You know, that
something.
was something else. You know, so
Yeah.
Mhm,
That was always a treat.
yeah, the country ham.
country ham. How about the guy that came over was going to cook the turkey and boil it, steam it? He was a salesman. Came over, worked for the water company. He said, "You kind of don't know how to cook turkey." He said, "I'm gonna cook one for you." He come over, brought his thing iron, cooker, and all that stuff. Put it in there, cooked it just right. Said it's ready. We got everything in there, and we cut it raw.
Yeah, that was
Just raw.
what's his name? James
He cooked
Eastern Electric Supply out of Rocky Mount. Yeah.
But he had done that, brought that out, and cooked it, and it was raw.
Oh, great
But he
day.
tried to.
Oh, my goodness.
But,
Oh, me. Well, y'all, I have enjoyed this, and time has flown by. Thank you for all that you did do for the island. And, I mean, like I said, I took it for granted. I thought that, we had it good. We really did.
I would do it all over again. I would have really loved to have stayed here when the co-op had to consolidate. In my last few years, I wish I could have stayed here, and me and some of the staff, we could have managed just Harkers Island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Still, when I ride by the old building, it makes me sad.
Yes,
I miss it.
yeah, I do.
miss it. Y'all used to decorate in front of the AMC building, too.
they
I
still do
remember.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Do they
They
still?
do. Carter Craven does that. I guess. I don't know if it's
I don't know if they do it or what, but anyway,
somebody does it. Yeah, it's part of it up there now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'll have to notice it when I go by.
and
They
we
do that.
and we improved the inside. You know, we put paneling inside. We did that. It was plaster, and we added that part where my desk was, the boardroom, and the back part. You know, and we built the metal building out back. You know, for our trucks and stuff like that. So we did a lot of things to improve Harkers Island.
Yes, you did. And you were greatly appreciated, even though it seems like you probably heard more of the negative than the positive. But
I wish that we had done one other thing, but we never did do it. I wish we had got solar over here, all over
Yes.
the whole island.
Well, that was one of the things, you know, when the water system started, they wanted to do it, but they said it was cost too much. And
It's
look how much now it will
Yeah.
cost to do it. You know.
Oh, for
But,
sure.
so-
Ooh,
It would have paid for itself in the long run, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, go
Yeah,
ahead.
we have.
I'm sorry, darling.
No, I have enjoyed it so much. And to see you two reunited has been fun, too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
I'm blessed to be here.
I appreciate you coming. And, Daddy, thank you until you're better paid. I love you.
I love you too, but you know I'm the biggest law on the island, so everything I just said,
So believe it or
no
not.
truth in none of it.
No, you're a good person.
You're good. You're a good person.
I always tell every time I talk on this thing, I had to tell them I'm the biggest law on the island.
No,
Just in case.
That,
But
just in case
I
somebody.
think most of what you've said today has been true because Travis is here to vouch.
Yes.
But it wasn't kind of him. I just,
Uh-huh.
felt like it was my obligation to do it.
Your
you know?
duty.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And,
Well-
and look, when you do something 5 times or 4 times, you don't need to do it no more.
Okay. Well,
I
you'll be back.
appreciate you letting me do these interviews. It tickles me to death in my heart. But thank you very much.
You gotta love him, Travis.
I know.
Gotta love him.
I do.
Well, folks, thank you, and I know that you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
I have. I really have.
Thank you. Thank you again for joining us to The Landing. This podcast is brought to you by the Core Sound Waterfowl Museum and Heritage Center. I am your host, Stacy Davis Baisden, and today's podcast was produced by April Davidson. Tune in next week as we continue learning, sharing, and remembering together. If you'd like to hear more, check out our previous episodes where you get your podcasts. Until then, stay safe and be kind.